mother-in-law told guests my cooking was disgusting and said her son deserved a wife who could actually cook. I agreed to let her handle the next family dinner. She smiled while she insulted me. That was the part that made it sting the most. My mother-in-law, Patrice, had been criticizing my cooking since the day I married her son. It started small. A little too much salt here, slightly overcooked there. I brushed it off as her being particular. But over 8 years, it became her favorite hobby. She'd take one bite of whatever I made and push her plate away with this theatrical sigh. "I'm not that hungry anyway," she'd say loud enough for everyone to hear. My son used to eat so well before he got married. My husband Nico always defended me privately, but never in front of her. "She's just old-fashioned," he'd say. "She doesn't mean anything by it." But she did mean it, every single time. I spent years trying to win her over. Took cooking classes, bought expensive ingredients. Once I spent 14 hours making her grandmother's lasagna recipe from scratch, layer by layer, exactly how she described it. She took one bite and said it was close, but not quite right. Nothing was ever good enough. The breaking point came at Nico's 40th birthday party. I'd been planning it for months. 20 guests, catered appetizers, but the main course was my homemade Filipino adobo, my late mother's recipe, the one dish that actually meant something to me. Everyone was raving about it. Guests were asking for the recipe. I was glowing for the first time in years. Then Patrice stood up and clinked her glass. "I just want to say," she announced with that syrupy smile, "that my son is so patient." She gestured toward the food. Nico grew up eating real home-cooked meals. It must be hard for him to pretend this is acceptable. A real wife would know how to properly feed a family. 20 people went silent. My face burned. I could feel tears forming, but I refused to let them fall. That night, after everyone left, I made a decision. I was done trying, done proving myself. If Patrice thought cooking for this family was so easy, she could do it herself. The next morning, I called her. "You're absolutely right," I said sweetly. "I'm clearly not good enough to cook for family gatherings. Would you mind handling Thanksgiving this year? Everyone would love to taste your cooking instead of mine." She practically purred through the phone. "Finally, you're being reasonable. I'll show you how it's done." I spent the next 6 weeks doing absolutely nothing. No menu planning, no grocery lists, no offering to help. Every time Patrice called to complain about how busy she was, I just agreed that hosting is so much work. A week before Thanksgiving, she called, sounding stressed. "The turkey alone is $40, she said. "And everyone has different dietary restrictions now. Your sister-in-law is gluten-free. The kids won't eat anything green. How do you usually handle all this?" "I don't know," I said innocently. "I just throw things together. You'll figure it out." Thanksgiving Day arrived. Nico and I showed up exactly on time, bringing only a store-bought pie as instructed. The house smelled like something burning. Patrice was sweating in the kitchen, flour on her face, 3 pots boiling over simultaneously. The turkey was still pink in the middle at 4 in the afternoon. The mashed potatoes were somehow both lumpy and watery. The green beans were gray. Dinner was served 2 hours late. The turkey was dry on the outside, raw on the inside. She'd forgotten to season almost everything. The gravy had chunks in it that nobody could identify. Nobody said a word. The silence was deafening. Finally, her own sister spoke up. "Patrice, what happened? This isn't like you." Patrice's face crumbled. "I don't understand. I followed the recipes. I've been cooking my whole life. I don't know why it didn't come together." She looked at me with something I'd never seen before in her eyes. Desperation. "How do you do this every single time? For every holiday, every birthday, every Sunday dinner? I've been working on this for weeks and I couldn't even get one meal right." I let the question hang in the air. Nico cleared his throat. "Mom, maybe you owe someone an apology." Patrice stared at her ruined turkey for a long moment. Then she looked at me. "I'm sorry." She said it quietly, but she meant it. I had no idea how much work this actually is. "I've been unfair to you for years." I nodded and stood up from the table. "I brought backup," I said. "There's a full meal in the coolers in my trunk. I made it yesterday just in case." Her eyes went wide. "You knew this would happen?" I smiled. "I hoped you'd learn something. That was more important than one dinner." We reheated my food and ate together. For the first time in 8 years, Patrice complimented every single dish. She hosts nothing now, but she shows up early to help me prep, peels potatoes without being asked, and never criticizes a single thing I make. Sometimes people need to walk in your shoes before they stop stomping on your feet.